Hi, my name is Saurav Atri. I am from the class of 2011 and currently I work for an organization called Gallup and I'm a director of talent sourcing with them, managing recruitments for Southeast Asia, Pacific, Middle East and Europe for Gallup. The second role that I also have at Gallup, I'm a strengths evangelist, or you can call me a learning and development consultant. So I'm a maths graduate from Delhi University, Venkateshwar College. And my first job was with Fidelity Mutual Funds. I was into customer relations and I was also into business continuity plans, risk management. I worked with Fidelity for 2 years and post that I looked at how can I expand my skill set, truly unlock all the potential inside me. So I figured that maybe something more on client relationship management could be a good fit for me. So I joined a college based out of Delhi. It's called International College of Financial Planning, owned by Bajaj Capital Group. My role there was of strategic education. I was senior manager for strategic education, managing corporate relations for the college, essentially helping students get jobs. So I was also sort of a placements manager for students. Other responsibilities that I had at ICFE was I used to run training programs for students around soft skills and equipping them with skills so that they can get great jobs. I did that for 2 years. We had great successes in the year 2007, 2008. When the recession was hitting in, we got 100% placements. Looking at that success, the managing director for Bajaj Capital, Sanjeev Bajaj, decided that if we could get students jobs during the recession, we might as well turn a cost center into a profit center. So then we opened up a recruitment agency, recruitment firm for Bajaj Capital called Fuel Source. So I was responsible for building the business of that. We started with great successes. Working with International College of Financial Planning, and I was teaching students. What I realized was that, I believe I had the power of inspiring people and motivating them. But when I went there, I realized that when I said things to people, some people were really energized by it, but others had no impact on it. And I was like, how does this work? How do people perceive the same message in such a different way? So I was very intrigued by human behavior and how people absorb information in their heads. So I said, I want to learn from the best. I'm a huge believer, if you learn something, learn from the best. So then I Googled experts in human behavior and Gallup popped up. So I went on a mission that I have to join Gallup and I have to learn from the best. So I looked at different avenues. Where could I get into this world-class organization which focuses on human behavior? I'm an expert in behavioral economics. ISB was one of the schools that Gallup hires from. So I went on a mission that this is the right fit. There were other schools, INSEAD and AGSM in Australia, that I figured that those were other opportunities that I could explore, getting into a route into Gallup. But ISB was a natural fit school for me. It was based in India, far more affordable than some of the other international business schools were there, with the same level of education that you could achieve in some of the best schools in the world. So for me, it was how do I now get into ISB and get into Gallup. So I was continuing on this journey of working for that college, launching their executive search firm. And then, I took my GMAT. I had a 710 score in that, and I applied to ISB the first time around, but I did not make it. So I was like, well, one thing I have in me is persistence. So I said, I will try again until you succeed. I tried the next year. I still didn't get through. And then I really enhanced my skills. There were instances, especially from an admissions point of view, everything that I was doing in my current job at ICF and Fuel Source, I thought to myself, how would this add to my application? So for a whole 2 years, I was building up my application for ISB. Every project that I took on, I saw the significance in that and thought, how does this add value to my CV and to my application? So I was, in some cases, on a mission to work for the best organization and learn from the best business school that there was available for me. Finally, I got the offer from ISB, and that for me was a defining moment of my life. And it was November 2009. So in December 2009, I quit my job. And I had 4 months to really think about how the future for me post-ISB would look like and what this next step of my life journey would be. So I'm a planner. So I have a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C. My plan A was Gallup, as I've been focusing on. But I need to be prepared for other situations. Plan B was to have international opportunities. Till
2010, I did not even have a single stamp international on my passport of any international journey. So I would say, restricted on those life experiences. 2010, I decided to have a plan. So Plan A was a Gallup, Plan B was international opportunities, and Plan C was starting up my own business. I had already got a stint of launching a company for somebody else. I made money for them. So I said, let me start off having the Plan C in place. So in case the kind of opportunities I want don't materialize post ISB, at least I have a backup option ready. And ISB is a great school for entrepreneurship as well. So that was like, let's see if I can get into the initiation route of setting up my own company through ISB. So then after that, I launched a company, registered it, and then straight away, I got business offers from companies that I was previously associated with, especially in the recruitment space. And I was making money. Within 10 days of launching my company, I made almost 6 months of my salary what I was making in the previous organization I was working. Like, wow, how did this happen? And just at that time, a ton of events happened, and I was pulled into event management and sports management space. So I happened to get in touch with the Indian hockey team at that time, and the World Cup was scheduled on 28th of February. So I launched the company on 1st of February, and 28th of February was the World Cup that was starting off. In between, the players were on media, there was bad branding, they were suggesting that there's no sponsors, we will not play the World Cup. And I happened to be working out the same gym as those Indian team in Delhi. So I reached out to them and I said, who's managing your brand? Whoever's doing it is not doing a good job, because right now it's poor branding for you. And they said, there's nobody who's managing their brand. They don't have any sponsors. So I said, I have some relationships in the industry, I could help. So they said, sure. So they, Prabjot Singh, who's a lead Indian hockey team player, called me in for a meeting at Lee Meridian, and we spoke about how I could help. So I reached out to my contacts and they said, sure, they can sponsor. So, but we need to see a contract that you officially represent them. So straight away I called up a lot of my friends, and they were humble enough to share these contracts with me of player management and sports management. So straight away I signed up. Within a span of like 6 days, I signed up 5 players and got them sponsorship deals. And within the next 5 days, the entire team, at least 17 players out of 18 players of the team of the Indian national field hockey team signed up with me. And I was amazed. I said, wow. Before the World Cup started, every player had a sponsorship deal with them. And I was managing the media, I was making money. I was quite surprised that within a span of a month, I had my own company running and was profitable. Then the big decision came in. Should I continue with this, or should I finish my education and go to ISB? I'm a planner, so I have my plan A, plan B, and plan C in place. I figured that life is a long journey. You need to build the right milestones, right pedigree, right learnings for you. And I figured that ISB is something that I've already worked so hard for. Because for me, it wasn't as easy into getting into ISB, because this was after my 3rd attempt at ISB. So imagine, I applied for the first time in 2007, didn't get through. I didn't lose heart, because I knew that to be the best, you have to play with the best. Second attempt, I still didn't make it through. Third attempt, my persistence and perseverance helped me get through. And like I said, all those experiences added value. So finally I made through, and I said, I want to continue on this journey, add that pedigree of what a world's best business school, like at least in India's best business school would offer. So I finally decided to plunge into ISB's a roller coaster journey, a fulfilling roller coaster journey. And I decided to still continue my business while I was at ISB. So the first term, well, for the people who are exploring, it is tough. You will be immersed into this amazing learning roller coaster. So managing a business and doing all those learnings was getting tougher, but I was still holding on. Then, second term onwards, we had the GSB Council's election, which is the graduate student body for students. Elections came out, and I decided to stand for the placements committee director, the Platform Council director. It was a very humbling experience for me, and I would say that I was fortunate and privileged at the same time that all 570 students, chose me. They put faith in me to drive, placement from a student's perspective for the school. for the year of 2011. Through the whole year, we had to work hard. And like I said, I was fortunate to be surrounded by what you call A players. And that's the benefit of being at ISB, is that everywhere you see A players around you. 2011 turned out to be the best placements year till that time, because we were coming out of a recession. People did not know how their careers would shape up. But it was all because of the support of all the students, and everybody put their efforts in, and I think that helped us achieve 100% placements that year. So for me, the big decision came is, how do I manage placements? How do I manage these academics, which is tough, and also manage a business? So I stalled my business, and while the whole student body and everybody was looking at careers and doing case interviews, I decided to stick with my planning. I was reading Gallup's books. Finally, Gallup came on campus. I had my interviews, but the role that I wanted at Gallup wasn't available. So they put me in what they call a talent bank. And so now the thing is that now I have to activate Plan B, because Gallup did not take an offer to me. So thanks to the Career Advancement Services team, they helped me line up offers, and we had like a lot of companies coming on campus. Finally, my Plan B materialized from Gallup. So I had an international opportunity. So I got my first stamp on my CV, on my passport, thanks to ISB. So I got an offer in Dubai with an event management company called Artaj Events. I worked with them for just around 10 months, and then Gallup came knocking back, and they said, we have opportunities for you because you had cleared our interviews. So we have the role that you wanted is now open. Would you want to come on board? I said, absolutely. Dream company, dream role. Who wouldn't want to jump on that ship? So I moved from Dubai to Singapore with Gallup. And I would have to say that, at Gallup, it has been the most fulfilling journeys of my life, because the best thing you could do is, find your life's mission. And if an organization helps you fulfill that life's mission, it is not work anymore. It is actually fun. And it is fulfilling what you're meant to do on this planet Earth. At Gallup, I'm paid to do 3 things. First, I head recruitments for them for Southeast Asia, Pacific, Middle East, and Europe. The second thing is I'm also a consultant, a learning and development consultant on the client side. So with the learnings that I acquired at ISB around organizational behavior, around consumer behavior, that really helped me and be at ease at Gallup. And especially in this role of learning and development, I also interact with senior executives, CEOs. I'm also an executive coach we have a tool called the Clifton Strengths Finder, helping people know what they're good at. So I coach CEOs across the region. And so all the learnings around finance and accounting, that will help me really have conversations with these senior executives. I can now speak their language, which I don't think I would have been able to do before I had all the learning experiences. I would like to share an interesting story at Gallup, and this was my big defining moment. So I was called in, to coach a CEO of a large skincare company in the world. She was the CEO for the Southeast Asia division, and I had an hour of a coaching, one-to-one executive coaching with her. It was a huge opportunity for me to prove my worth. She came in 15 minutes late, so I only had 45 minutes to have a coaching session with her. That 45 minutes coaching session turned out to be a 5-hour marathon coaching session. We also had dinner with each other. And by the end of it, she actually asked me, Saurav, what school did you go to? Why did you ask that? And she said, because I would like to send all my employees to the same school, because the learnings and the value that you've added in. So I said, all the learnings that I've been able to share with you, obviously I've learned from Gallup, and also all the development that I've had at my business school at ISB. So I would say that all the learnings that I've added in, it has added a lot of depth of understanding the life experiences that I've been through. And I would also say that the holistic understanding that you have post going through a program like the PGPM that I went through really transforms your thinking when you go out in the business world. The biggest takeaway that I had from ISB for me was it transforms your thinking. It brings you a perspective that you may not have seen before. And all that matters is, is the thinking that you go out with. When you're in a senior executive role, they may not know everything in the world. It's how you think, how you approach, how you take decisions, right? And that decision making comes with how many perspectives you've gained through your life experiences. For me, ISB was a 1-year life experience, which for me was the best year of my life till that time. The best way to learn, I believe, is through life experiences. And the good thing about studying at ISB for me was not only the learnings that you were getting from the professors in the classroom and also the people in the classroom, but also the extracurricular activities that you were part of. So we had a lot of extracurriculars that we were associated with while at ISB. And I was also part of the ISB basketball team. Internal tournaments that we were having between sections as part of our local Olympics. I was playing basketball and an unfortunate incident happened where I fell and I tore my ACL ligament, because of which I had to go through a whole operation to repair that ligament in Apollo Hospital in Hyderabad. And this happened pretty much third term. So I still had a few more terms to go and half of the year to go actually, and I was handicapped. I was on a wheelchair, which we actually call Ferraris at ISB, which are these automatic wheelchairs that ISB provides you with. So I was a little scared because I did not want to miss out that opportunity of learning and the time investment that I've already done in a year. Fortunately for me, ISB was very handicap friendly. So I had access to everything, be it going out from my quad, right out to classrooms. Everything was easy access. Simple things like you have to go to the rec center, everything is available. So I felt that I did not miss out on learning. But what also made it at least a good journey, even though I was handicapped for 4 months, was also the people. Because everywhere I went, I got extra attention, I got cared for. For me, ultimately, I came to ISB also for the learning experiences. There are various ways of having those learnings. So for me, being part of a group of 60 odd students in a classroom was also a very humbling experience, because I already had come with my set of 5 to 7 years of experience before ISB into this program. But everywhere I looked in, I felt very small. I was actually looking at people around me like, these are like superstars of what they've done. They had these rock stars from international organizations, from the big organization, very senior executives who had signed up, and they're studying in the same room as me. And they were so open in sharing their life experiences with me. And I was like, what did I deserve to be here, to be around these amazing stalwarts? So I felt quite humbled and at the same time privileged to have that opportunity to learn from them, but also share my own learnings with them, which they were very open to. So for me, that interaction with these professors who had come down from Wharton, from London Business School, and I was like, wow, these guys, this is the kind of experiences you expect if you go to, say, an international business school like a Wharton and a London Business School, and you were getting all those experiences right here at ISB. And also learning from these people from different walks of life, different industries. I had fashion designers in the room, I had doctors in the room, I had army personnel in the room, I had bankers, I had technology graduates. So I had pretty much people from all across different walks. I also had a lot of international students. I made some really good friendships with them. So learning from these peers, learning from the professors, and learning from the experiences that they had to share during case studies. I remember one instance where a professor gave us a case study that we were dissecting. So we, as a study group, and you also work in study groups with other people, so different people bring their own skills into a learning setting. We dissected the case, we really came up with our own theories, and we were saying, well, this person did this, this person did that, and we were dissecting that, venture capital organization that they had set up. And this was broken down to 2 lectures. At the second lecture, once we had dissected the case, professor gave his insights. We suddenly had a guest in the back of the room. And right after we've done that, the professor brought that guest forward. And what I realized was he was the guy who was from that organization. All these 2 lectures, we were dissecting him of what he did right, what he did wrong. Like, oh my God. Hearing, and then he shared his story, why he took those decisions the way he did. And for me, it was, you were hearing from the horse's mouth of how he thought, how he did. And for us, that was one of the best learning experiences that I have been part of really, looking at your own thought process, but also hearing from the real people who have those thought processes and why they take those decisions. For me, you can't have those learnings anywhere else. So great learning experiences. This was in the classroom. But outside, obviously, we were partnering with each other to do assignments and doing as part of a study group, looking at each other's talents and strengths, seeing what each person is good at, and bringing them to a common forum. Some people are great analysis, they took that role up. Some people are great at presentation, they took that role up. Some people are great, freebies. They will just jump on the ship to help, motivate others to do it. There were different wakes of people that came on board. What we call them freeloaders. So there were a lot of freeloaders as well. So you had to do all the hard work and they would enjoy the benefits. But like I said, everybody has their own way of getting things done. So you learn from those experiences as well, because all those experiences of working in teams, you can then translate into your work after you've graduated from ISB. Because in your day-to-day work and teams that you work within the organization that you will work post you graduate, you will have those people who are great in analysis, people who are great in communication, people who are also freeloaders. How to manage them will be an important skill that you need to acquire during these study group sessions. So I think that was a great learning for us as well. I would say when I joined ISB, I was a boy. And when I was getting out of it, I at least became some aspects of a man to be able to handle the real world. I was in the real world before that as well, but not into senior executive roles. And post ISB, that's what I was looking to do, to be able to get into senior executive roles, which will be the next stage of my career. For me, the learnings that I got at ISB was from the classroom environment, from the peer environment, of just being able to learn from all the wonderful experiences that people bring on the table. But also looking at the world from a more holistic picture. I think what's the biggest value an MBA teaches you is a new way of thinking. And that's what's required to tackle the world in a different way. Because in the real world, you have so many complexities all around you, with people, with decisions, with organizations, with market factors. So there's so many moving parts. If you will deal with them in a structured way, I think you need some sort of a structured learning, a framework, a whole set of experiences to tap into. And ISB, everything that we do here is very experiential. So you see that even in the classroom, it is not just rote learning. You don't just mug up stuff and just, it's like I call it, you don't show up and throw up in the classroom, right? What you do is you tap into your past experiences. And through those learnings, it helps you make sense of your past experiences with the learnings that you're doing in the classroom. That for me was a really powerful journey that I had in the classroom, and then how I could translate it into the work that I do. And I think when I look back over this 5 years journeys and what the learnings I have been able to translate into action for myself and the work that I do, comes from experiences and learnings from peers. As part of ISB, I was privileged to be part of the Platinum Director Council. I was also awarded various awards, right from college competitions in basketball, right up to being associated with organizations like Goldman Sachs, where I had my ELP, and finally I was awarded the Young Leaders Award at the graduation ceremony. So there was a whole meaningful journey. But if I have to sum up my whole experience of 1 year at ISB, one word that I would use would be transformation.